Everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Having one, it just would be nice. 'Cause everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome to Auntie's Advice. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome to Auntie's Advice. Hi, everybody, it's Auntie, and I am here to do a quick review on Married at First Sight, Season 9, Episode 9, 1 Month Down, Never to Go. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you to everyone who has joined our family. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me, sitting on the couch, the bed, or whatever. Thank you so much for your continued support. Y'all, this episode of Married at First Sight had its ups and its downs. And we're going to get into this review. Shall we? Yes, we shall. The first couple I want to talk about is Deanna and Greg. I really love where their relationship is going. They are really growing into one another, and the relationship is just blossoming the way that it really should. We catch them at home. Deanna is expecting Dr. Calvin to come. And she is just really maturing right before our eyes. We see that her guards are down, and I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing with this young lady and this young man. They kind of review some of the things that they've been through, and so it is fantastic to see this happen. So Greg, of course, is the one that's always joking and stuff like that. And of course, we all know that every joke isn't a joke. Okay, there's some reality in every line of comedy. But he really still wants to be more passionate with his wife. He says that, he needs affection and stuff like that. And, we had talked earlier about the 5 love languages. Now I see that there is a glare on here. So I'm going to try to move this out of the glare. There we go. I guess maybe it's, God, it's a sign from God. Oh, okay. So Dr. Calvin comes over and he's talking to the couple about their relationship and where they are. He's a little bit uncomfortable with asking them where they are with their sex life and whether or not they've consummated the marriage. And they tell him, yes, things are good in that area. And he asks, basically about the love question. And she says that she's growing in love with a Greg, and she really believes that he's there because he keeps asking her whether or not she's there. And so Dr. Calvin told her that he believes that she's there as well and that she doesn't know. He said oftentimes, you're in love with someone and you don't even know that you're there until, damn it, you're there. And I do know that that happens a lot of the times, that you really don't know that you care about a mofo until something happens that causes you to recognize it, or maybe just a single moment, or that single look, or maybe that longing for that individual, and then you realize, oh my God, like, I like him. She said that she told Greg that she likes him and that she's grown to like him, but I can tell by the way that she looks at him that she loves him. And you know what? It's the cutest thing. And I was sitting on the sofa watching it with my daughter. And I was like, every time they come on, you have this smile on your face. And she was like, I just, I think that they're the cutest couple. And I really think that out of all the couples, they're going to last. And you know what? I have to agree with her. I believe they're probably going to last too. Okay. So anyway, they it's their 1 month anniversary, and so they go out to the bowling alley, and no, Dr. Calvin asks her, "What is it that you are afraid of?" Because you can tell that she's holding back some things, and some things she has admitted to holding back. And she said that, the thing that she is most afraid of is that when he sees all of her in her entirety, that he's not going to like her, or he's not going to like what he sees. And Greg doesn't feel that way about her at all. And Dr. Calvin told her, this is, it's fair for you to feel like that, but you can't have that. You can't have that fear. She just has to let her head down. She has to learn how to relax and live in the moment. The same moment that she found attractive about Greg is the same moment now she has to live in. And I know that it's a little hard. And Greg, he's like, there's nothing about her really, that he doesn't like. I mean, like, he's into this girl. Now, he wants more affection from her, but he's into this girl. Okay. So we see them at the bowling alley. They go out for their date night. And she was like, I'm competitive. And so they're bowling at the bowling alley. And Greg is like, I need to get some affection. So they make a deal that if, they get a spare, that the person that picks up the spear has to quack like a duck and do a duck dance in front of everybody. But if they get a strike, they have to give one another, or the loser, 4 packs, okay? And so he says that he wants to test out her PDA and see, if she is fine with, having public affection. And so they roll, and he has to do, he doesn't pick up his spare, and so, he has to do the quack thing, and she's like, well, let me, film, and so she gets her iPhone out. Just real cute, just the normal stuff that couples do. They did it together, and he's quacking, and he had to shake his butt and turn around and shake his butt. And then, when he got a strike, he was like, I want that kiss. And she came over and pecked him on the kiss, on the lips 4 times. And then when she got her, she was like, I want that kiss. And I was like, okay, go ahead, oh girl, you better come on out of that shell. Come out of that shell. Later on, we see that, and so he's pleased. He's pleased that she is not afraid to have, public affection. And like this, this is the first time in the history of me watching this show that I've seen a couple that really, that you can see that they're really progressing, and you can see the maturity in the relationship. They go out to dinner to celebrate their 1 month anniversary, and they talk about, what is it that you like about me? And they both love each other's hearts, and that they're givers. And you can't beat someone who loves you in giving. Like, you can't, because love is giving, and giving is love. And so they really like that about one another. They have good conversation. She wants to try octopus on the menu, grilled octopus, and he, didn't want to at first, but then he said, you know what? This is what I asked for. I asked for a woman who would be more adventurous than I am, a woman who would be more daring. And he said, you know what? I'm going to try it. And so he tries it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't gag off of it. I mean, his face was all kinds of twisted and everything. But he didn't gag off of it. And she said, you know what I asked for? He's like a dream come true. He's what I prayed for. He's what I wanted. I wanted a man who was going to love me and care about me and just be kind. And he is exhibiting those behaviors. Like, he is the bomb. I would hate if things turned to the left or even to the right with this couple, because this is how much, you really get happy when you see this. And she said, he makes my heart happy. I said, bitch, you better go. So they make a little toast, and she toasts to the future, and then, they get home and everything. And he wants to cut the cake. And she's like, I don't want to cut the cake. The cake is supposed to be cut on our first year anniversary. And she says, and I want to wait for the first year. And for me, that was hope. It was a good sign that the marriage is going in the right direction, and that she is starting to believe that this is possible for them to have. And so he says, you ready to go to bed? And she's like, yes. And she goes into the room, and he has flower petals on the floor and flower petals on the bed and candles leading to the bathtub, and he has the bath water running. And he said, when you went out and walked the dog, I had to rush and get this stuff together. And this is just her dream man. He's the man she's always wanted. And I really do believe that he's probably the man she's always deserved. Because like she said, I always put the cart before the horse. And now I'm in this relationship, and I'm taking my time, and I'm not making it about sex. And I'm not in these, these situations or whatever the kind of relationship she was in before. And it's just refreshing to see couple like this, because all the other couples got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Talk about a bunch of stuff going on. We have our girl Amber, okay? Y'all, I got her name right this week, Amber and Matt. Amber is just a little sorry looking sap. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take for this girl to really get herself together. Of course, it's their 1 month anniversary as well. And, she is planning, cooking dinner for her man. And, he comes home with some tulips and everything. And he was like, since she is doing this, I want to do this. He wants to try to turn himself around. But I am so waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't know about you all, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's just like I'm on pins and needles, because I just don't know when he's going to run, flee. I mean, it's just... he's just too unpredictable for me. And I'm telling you right now, I don't trust him. And I don't know how Amber is so giddy in this relationship, so forgiving. She says, after Dr. Pepper got there and basically told him off, and they had their conversation, they're on the same page. But I swear, it's just like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with this mofo. When is the next time he's going to leave? When is the next time he's going to cut up? It's just, y'all, and for me, Amber makes everything about sex. And every time she looks at him, she just wants to pounce on him. And so we see her putting the table together, and then she, he comes home, she goes into another room, and she changes into a dress. And like my daughter said, her hair was dry. Give it up for the dry hair. She finally blew her hair out and made herself look presentable. And he was attracted to her in that moment. This is the kind of girl, she got a hot body. If you got it, flaunt it. And you could see that there was a spark that kicked with him, that she wasn't the one who was always initiating the intimacy and initiating the sex. he was ready to do it because of that hot dress she had on. And so they sit down and eat everything, and they just acting like everything's fine. So we see him later on strumming, a little strumming my pain with his finger, killing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me. Okay, y'all get it. He's writing her a song. I said, okay, so he's a basketball player / musician. But anyway, so, you know, he's writing this song because he really wants to do the right thing. He wants her to be happy. And it's like, okay, I mean, Matt is trying to please everybody else, but is Matt pleased? The next thing we see is he takes her out. Let me make sure nothing else happened. He takes her out, for their 1 year anniversary. I mean, 1 month anniversary, and they're just talking about the relationship again. He asks her, "What is it that I can change? What is it about me that bothers you?" And she said, "What I would like to see you change or do differently is that I would like to know that you're alive when you're out." And so we see that there's a problem that's still going on with that, but I guess they're not filming that. Or they've asked for that not to be filmed. Or this time she didn't spaz out and miss work. But we see that there is something, y'all, that is going on still with this couple. Because if he only did it one time, then I don't see her saying, I want you to do a better job at that. He should have said, I would like to see you beautify yourself more. Because she put this dress on and she was like, ordinarily I wouldn't wear this dress. Why not? Why not? Now, I know there's one thing to be a tomboy, but there's another thing to just look uncapped. And as far as I'm concerned, Amber just looks uncapped. They have a nice little romantic dinner. I don't even remember if he gave her a gift. Did he give her a gift? I don't think he gave her a gift. But at the end, they have this, they're sitting out in the park and they have an outside theater and they show their, the video of their wedding day. And again, as she sat down, like my daughter said, why are all her dresses so short? And she sits down, her coochie cat, they got to cover up the girl's coochie cat. But the only thing she wants to do is pounce on him. He plays his little song for her, and she says that she loves it. Y'all, I can't get with this couple. I so want to believe in Matt. I want to believe that Matt is going to change. But I'm telling y'all, there's a shoe, and bitch, it's going to drop. It's going to drop. The next couple I want to talk about is Iris and Keith. Keith is just one patient man. He sits down with his best friend and they are talking about, they're getting together because they haven't seen each other in a while. And they're talking about, boy talk, guy talk. And so he's asking him, how is it being married? And, he's saying, they making the adjustments and all this, and he can't believe that he's been married to this woman and woo-to-woo-to-woo. So his friend asked him about, about sex, okay? Because that's what men do. That's what women do too. And so, he tells his friend that they haven't had sex. The thing that I liked about Keith was that Keith honored her. He didn't make it about her. He also told his friend that she was a virgin. But he honored her and covered her in love. He really didn't say, she got to hang up with having sex. This is making me uncomfortable. He just said, we're really getting to know one another. And I really did like the way that Keith handled that situation, because he could have dogged her out for real in front of his friend. He could have, really got down dirty and funky with it. But, excuse me, I think that regardless of her, her condition, because at this point it's a condition. Auntie. I gotta laugh at my damn self. Okay. So, he really could have ragged on her, but he didn't. In the meantime, we see her at the pool. She's with her mom. And her mom's one of them, one of them G's that, you just kind of see like sitting on a rock, and it's like a whole bunch of like candles lit and stuff like that. And she's just this, real wise woman that you come to and you rub a ball before you get your your damn fortune read. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm tired or not, but I just felt like can you read my palm? Okay, but anyway, so she's talking to her. So she's talking to her mom. And her mom is, like, talking about the marriage. And they get on the subject about her virginity, which, of course, we know is her whole entire identity. She says that she's a little angry with Keith because Keith said that her virginity could cause problems in the marriage. Because he didn't say it would, he said it could cause problems. And the reason why he talked about it was because she asked the question. Keith didn't come to her the way she made it seem. She asked him over dinner if this was going to, or if this could cause a problem. And he was honest with her. Again, this is the same Keith that when he was with his homeboy, didn't throw her virgin ass under the bus. So, her mom is like, is it a concern or is it a problem? As a man, he is probably concerned about it. Shouldn't you be? She's like, well, I don't want it to be, an issue in our marriage or whatever, she said. And guess what? It's not an issue if you don't make it one. She says she just wants to be free with her husband. Well, be free. Hang from a couple of ceilings. Order some, like, it's an issue because Iris is making it an issue. It's a thorn in their side because this is how she chooses to bloom as a rose. Like, boo, enough already with the virginity. She says that men would be dying to have sex with her because she's a virgin. That ain't true. That's not true. Every man doesn't desire to be somebody's first. Just like every man doesn't desire to be somebody's last. This is what the fantasy you've made up in your mind about your virginity. This is how you see yourself. And so I'm way up here now, and I'm the most desirable woman in the world because I'm a virgin. And that's just not all the time. And it's just not true all the time. And it's not true for everybody. And you can't lump everybody in one little box and say, oh, men are just dying to be with me. Because that's not the truth. Keith's friend mentioned at the table that Keith usually doesn't wait this long. And she mentioned to her mom, he didn't expect to marry a virgin because this is just like another thing that's piled on top of him. Well, boo, that's very easy for you to fix. All you have to do is remove that obstacle, remove that hurdle out of your marriage. Now, I know that they want to take their time and Keith is being respectful, but at the end of the day, he's a man and he has desires of a man. He's laying beside this woman every night. He mentioned that she cooks a lot, and he really does enjoy her cooking a lot. But come on, boo, it's time to grow up in every area of your life. And I'm not saying you got to be a hoe for your husband. You just need to be a wife to your husband. So we see them, the next day, or the whatever, and they're going out to celebrate their 1 month anniversary. Keith takes her to a horse ranch or farm, and they get to ride the horses. And she told him, I want you to ride the white one because you are her, knight in shining armor riding in on a white horse, which I thought was kind of cute. I mean, whatever. And they had a great time. And then he had, a nice little picnic table for them set up very nice for her. And she said how special she felt about, what he was doing for them. What I must say is that the men really did go all out. I don't know if the producers had a list of stuff for them to go down, suggested dates, but they all, to me, they all did a great job, and it wasn't something that was outside of their personality or outside of their character. And so, she's, really, really happy about what he has done. And I was impressed with him as well. Later on, they went home. He asked her something at the table, and I thought that it was significant. And now it just skips my cotton freaking mind about what he asked her. Oh no, she thanked him for being kind. She thanked him for being patient and for waiting on her and not pressuring her and just really being a support. But I think that Keith has a special respect and a special love for her because she was there for him with his grandmother. And when somebody's in your corner like that, especially during time of death, you really do, start to, what are you saying, boo? Oh, hi, boo. So we see them go back to the apartment and everything, and he's like, I have a gift for you, and she's excited and irritating the dog snot out of me, and so I'm like, okay, what does he have? And he pulls out a nice little necklace for her. He tells her to close her eyes. He surprises her with a necklace, and it's a heart. And she says, what does the heart mean? And he said, hope for the future, whatever. And so she, is elated. She's happy about it. He puts it around her neck and she treasures it. She said because Keith, realizes that she likes jewelry, and there's nothing like a man that listens to what you say and knows what it is that you like. So anyway, she says, you know what, I got a gift for you. And she says, I have some wax for you. And Keith's mouth is just like, he's shocked. He is flattered. He feels honored. He feels respected because she gave him something that he told her he liked. She said she knew how much he liked his record player and how much he likes his wax. Wax is old albums, y'all, for all of those people that don't know what that means. And his mouth is hung open in disbelief that this woman cared enough for him, about him to give him this. And so he looks at it and he's just honored. And he finds in the stack, she said, hopefully you can go through the stack. And, when you think about it, you'll be like, my wife gave me this. And it was a Prince album in there. And he was like, oh my God, I don't have this one. And oh my God, I don't have this one either. And she is elated because there's nothing that feels better than giving. And especially when you give someone something that they're going to value. And so he really does now appreciate his wife. And he understands as a man that she is listening to him. And that might just go ahead on and get her another 2 weeks with his ass. But after a while, all of that stuff ain't gonna mean a damn thing. They get into the bed and they shut the lights out, and he's like, let's go to sleep. And it's not a big deal to him anymore. The next day they get up and they go to the jeweler because she wanted to make sure that his ring had gotten size. I guess they dropped it off. They went to pick it up and the ring fit his finger and he felt better. And she was like, I want all the women to know that you are married Thank you so much, Tina Marie, for the 4.99 super chat. Even Iris' mom told her it was time to keep some. I told her just dive in the pool. Absolutely. Good point. That's exactly what was said and what happened. Absolutely. Thank you, Tina Marie, for the 4.99 super chat and the review, boo. Okay. She did. I mean, it is time. It's time. And I know that there has been some feedback with people saying that, a woman shouldn't be forced and a woman's body doesn't belong to a man. Knick knack, patty rack, and give a dog a bone. And, I really was going to address it. And then I thought about it and I was like, if people are misunderstanding what I am saying, don't misunderstand my heart. I am an advocate for women, and I don't want to give the impression or have to defend myself as a woman. I know damn well what the RA word is. I know what it's about. I know about domestic abuse and I know about domestic violence and I know about how, a woman has a right to say no. I understand all that. And so when I started getting comments like that, I was going to come out and defend myself. And I was like, for what? You know what the hell you mean. When I say that, the Bible says that a woman's, that the partner should not withhold sex from one another, that's what I mean. And I'm not talking about, to the extent where, a man is forcing himself. Come on, y'all. Like, it's like, come on. To know me is to know that that is not what I meant. That's not what I said. And I'm not defending it. I would never, ever advocate for that. What I'm saying is, in general, you're not to withhold yourself. You get married for. You a hoe while you single, and then now you holy because you married? Like, come on. And it's vice versa. It's the same thing with a man. And that's why Matt is giving it to Amber every time she asks for it. And there are circumstances and there are situations where you're not going to want to feel like that. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on Auntie. There's no need for you to make comments like that in the comment section if you know and you've been here with me and you know my heart. You know damn well I'm not advocating for anything like that. Come the hell on. And I'm not going to sit here and go line by line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, and break the word down to you about that. I thought it was so unfair. And I'm like, I'm coming out here. I do these reviews because I enjoy doing these reviews. But some of the stuff that some of you all say, it's just, come on, it's petty. You know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. We all grown on this damn channel. I already have my channel set up so that if you are 18 and younger, you can't even come on this mofo. We are grown ass people and you know what the hell I'm talking about. This woman has done everything under the sun by her own admission, except for have penetration. And y'all gonna ride me. Don't be petty. And don't try to misconstrue what I said. I said what I said. And before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. But I don't appreciate someone thinking that I would ever advocate that a woman has to give her body up to a man all the time and simply because he wants it. And if he doesn't want it, then she needs to lay there and go through a Handmaid's Tale. That is not what the hell I'm saying out here. All right. So having said that, we're going to talk about our last couple, which is Jamie and Elizabeth. Jamie and Elizabeth's relationship, y'all, is so damn up and down, and it's unbelievable to me. Um, Jamie is really, he really likes Elizabeth. There's a lot about her that he likes. He likes that she's fun. He likes that she lightens up the room. He likes that she's humorous, and he likes her quirkiness. Like, he loves those things about her. Okay? And so it's their 1 month anniversary as well. She gets up in the morning, and they had a black moon. We all have one. And she puts two glasses of water outside because she wants to catch the moon water. What the fuck? Okay, so she does that. She gets up in the morning and she wants to go out and get it. And she's like, you know, there's some things floating around in it. I couldn't even look at them drink that water because I was like, I'm about to gag and throw the hell up. So I'm like, I can't. And I'm listening to them swallow this damn moon rain, dirty smut water. And God knows what's in it. She picking stuff out of it, and they sit there and drink it. And I'm like, ew, who does that kind of stuff? So she's excited about it, and she's like, you know, something's good going to happen, and we're going to have, you know, moon water in us, and it's going to change our lives. And he loves that quirkiness about her. For me, it would irritate the dog fuck out of me, but he loves it. And so, you know, we see that they're planning to have something, and he has planned, you know, a special day for her, and she's excited, and she's riding in the car, boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. And so they go to the place where they were married, where they first met. And they're under the gazebo, and he pulls out a sheet of paper, and he begins to read new vows to her. He is renewed the vows, and he's speaking heartfelt. He said, when I first wrote my vows, I didn't know you. And these are vows from a man who now knows you. And he talks about, you know, what it is that he likes about her and how he feels about her. And she is, you know, smiling from ear to ear because she's being treated like the princess that she thinks she is. And so, you know, they go in and they look, you know, So he has inside of one of the barns, the barn in which they got married, a very romantic table setting, set among rose petals in the shape of flowers. He's got candles everywhere, and she loves it. She's excited about, you know, her husband doing this for her. This is the best she's ever felt. She said that the relationship is going great. And he asked her at the time, what is it that I can change? Give me 3 things about myself that you want me to change. And she's like, nothing. And he's like, I mean, you know, come on. And she's like, nothing. You've been perfect. The last couple of days have just been wonderful. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, are you serious? There's a whole lot of things about him that you want him to change. And now given the opportunity, because you caught up in the moment, you can't stop for a minute and have an adult conversation, a real adult conversation, where both of you all are no longer at war with one another, and he's at a place where he can really hear you because he wants to listen to what you have to say. He wants to listen. So he's prepared this meal, and she's like, you know what? What do I need to change? What are the 3 things that you would like me to change? And he does the same thing. Why is it that when they had an opportunity to really deal with some things, they missed the opportunity to do that? Being fake as hell. Can you imagine the stuff that's really going on between Jamie and Elizabeth when the cameras are off? Like, they are playing it for the cameras. So anyway, she gives him a bag. And in that bag, the only thing that she could think to give him was the thing that she said bothered her last week. And that's sex, and more sex. She gives him a coupon book One of them little dry coupon books out the Hallmark store that you ain't thought a damn thing. It like no thought went into that. She just said last week that she feels like a sex machine, but you get him a coupon book for more sex. You just said last week that you had a pelvic inflammatory disease or a UDI. Because you was having too much sex. But this week, for your 1 month anniversary, with all the creativity that's in this quirky girl, you give him a coupon book? So he goes and drops down up underneath the table and he gives her a blue box. Y'all know that blue box. That infamous Tiffany box. This bitch is so excited she about to jump out the table. Jump out of the chair and flip the goddamn table over. And here in it is a necklace. And not just a necklace, but a necklace with a little pink stone in it. She's so damn excited about the Tiffany necklace that she doesn't even realize that there's something pink in it. She didn't look at it. All this bitch saw was a blue, powder blue Tiffany box. He has to tell her she got to take it off. Oh, I got to see it. She had already told him earlier that she was with her dad. And that, you know, I guess her dad showered her with all this affection. And here this man is doing the same thing. But all you can give him is a sex coupon book. We can do it this way. Oh, I know he's going to want it this way. Oh, I want to. See, men only treat you. Unsolicited advice. Men only treat you the way that you allow them to and the way that you present yourself. If you present yourself as a sex kitten, then that's exactly what they do. They're going to do. They're going to pet your ass. It's just simple as that. And so you can't stand back now and complain when you done gave this bitch a whole book full of coupons. He wasn't impressed with that, but he knows she's quirky and inappropriate, so he lets it go. So they go out into the night. He has popcorn, their cake, the topper, everything. Ready to have a great time for her, with her. Take it all to another level. And there's a box that is from the counselors. Now all of them had these boxes, and they had, you know, Iris and Keith, and Deanna and Greg. Matt and Amber didn't because they did theirs outside, but they did have the videotape. They all had an opportunity to look at these books, and each couple shared about either a family or friend in the book, or of how they looked that day and their feelings that day. Thank you, Robin Jones, for the $4.99 super chat. Keep giving us these great reviews, Auntie. Love you. Love you too, boo. You look cute, huh, boo? Thank you for the super chat. So all the couples are just, they're looking at the book and they're reminiscing about the day, about the events. So in this romantic setting that this man has created for her, they open up the book. And the first thing she talks about is her hair. The second thing she talks about is how fabulous her dress was. She talks about her smile and how she looked. And he's sitting there thinking, well, cat damn. What about us? What about the moment? Everything he's done tonight has been about them, the us, we. And she opens up the book, and all she can think about is her damn self. That's it. Nothing about, honey, you were handsome. Honey, we're a nice couple, like all other couples. We look good together. I was so excited to see you. So excited to meet you. No, bitch, she talking about her hair. The hair dye. And so he's feeling some kind of way about it. As he should. Because as a woman, we like compliments. And so if he did that to her, she would have been crushed, devastated, and patty as hell. So the next thing you know, we see them at the apartment, and they are arguing. And she is steady saying, leave me alone, Jamie. Get out, Jamie. Jamie, I don't want to talk about it. Jamie, leave me alone. Jamie, bye. Jamie, just leave. Jamie, get the fuck out of here. Jamie, get the fuck off me. The next thing we know, we see Jamie and that goddamn cat walking back out that door. Jamie said, you know what? If you don't want to be around me, I'm going to leave. She said, okay. He said, and if I leave, the marriage is over. She said, bye, Jamie. Goodbye, Jamie. Only thing I heard Jamie saying is that the pictures, he was trying to tell her that I wasn't pleased with how you handled that. She didn't want to listen to it. Now, maybe his attitude was off. Maybe there was some things that happened before. Fuck if I know. So Jamie leaves out with his cat and he gone. He deuces. And the next thing we see is a crying ass Elizabeth. Talking about how much of a princess she was. How she just wanted everything to be perfect. How she didn't have self-esteem, or she didn't think that she was beautiful. Here we see her being a victim. I can't take it anymore. Is this why people don't want to be with me? Yeah. Because he called her a materialistic bitch. The only thing she talked about was the material things in that picture. Her wedding dress, her hair, her this, her that. And maybe he was wrong. But in the heat of the moment, you say things that hurt one another. And that's what he did. He called it like he saw it. You are a materialistic bitch. Thank you so much, Kaden Pat, for the $4.99 super chat. Her crying made me want to cry too. I ain't gonna cry for her, but thank you for the super chat. She brought that on herself. You can't choose to be the victim when you overlook somebody else. Like she totally overlooked this man. I didn't feel good about myself. I don't feel good about myself. I'm just afraid of being alone and everybody's gonna leave me. I don't have the best self-image, and I just wanted everything to be right, and I just wanted my hair and my dress, and I just wanted to be a princess. I felt like I was a princess. And the only thing that I'm cared about is myself. I'm so fucking self-centered. And I want you all to feel sorry for me. And he called me a materialistic bitch. How could he call me that? Very easily. Well deserved. How dare you do that on your 1-month anniversary? Those pictures were for you all to share. I mean, what's wrong with me just talking about myself? What's wrong with me not acknowledging him? What's wrong with me not celebrating the day? What's wrong with me not doing that? What's wrong with me, not being considerate of his feelings? God, can you not understand how that makes me a victim? You was wrong. She said she can't take it anymore. He flew off the handle. Mm-mm. He matched your energy. When you were self-centered, he became self-centered. He matched your energy. Thank you so much, Urban Frugal Chick, for the $1.99 super chat. He called her the C word auntie, not the B. Oh, well, I thought that well, I'm not going to say that on my channel, but I thought that he called her I don't remember that. But maybe he did. Maybe you heard it that way. But I sure ain't going to say that on this channel. I ain't going to use that word. But thank you, Boo. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here, sweetie. I don't know what she's ever called him, but they have a very toxic relationship. She was very self-centered. A privileged, pampered poodle of a woman. Her daddy has worshiped the ground that she walks on. He has created an environment for her to be the pampered baby doll princess living up in a tower. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, throw your mofo head down. She's not a princess. She's somebody's wife. And no, it wasn't appropriate for him to call her that. It's not appropriate. But again, like I said, when we are saying and we're mad, we go for the jugular sometimes. She sat there and told him that he has Caucasian sex to hurt him. But then we're alarmed. We're alarmed. This woman emasculated this man on national television. But we mad and upset because he called her the C word or the B word. Where were we? And I'm going to keep it 100% funky because we family. And we can be real with family. Where was the anger? See, when she called him that and said that about him, we was laughing. Folk thought that was funny. And she cut that man down to the bone on national television. She emasculated him in front of all of us. But then when he calls her a word or says something to her that's under the table, now we're in the uproar. We can't have it both ways. We gotta pick which one we want. He wasn't right. But all is fair in love and war. And that's all they do, is study war with one another. They are toxic together. Very toxic together. And I'm not saying two wrongs make a right, but I don't want other people to think that two wrongs make a right either. Or that his sin is worse than hers. Both of them dead ass wrong. They're toxic to one another. She takes and puts this man out of the room. Throws toothbrush all out there. Because he said, Dr. Pepper said, don't leave. They like this. And ain't no need for any of us to really be catching no feelings about it. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they both wrong. Nobody wins in situations like this. Nobody wins when there's a divorce. Nobody wins when there's a split up. Nobody wins. And in this situation, we see how gutter relationships can be, how toxic they can be, and why sometimes it's just more beneficial for you to walk away. Because words hurt more than any brick you can stone, any black eye, any busted out tooth. Words stay with you. They have creative power. And there have been words that have been said to her and to him that have caused both of them to be scarred individual. But if they would just sit down to the table, when the question was asked, they should have been honest. They haven't been honest about anything, y'all, in this relationship. They haven't been honest with each other, and they haven't even been honest with the family. When confronted and asked, are you all going to have children? They both lied. When are they going to take responsibility for themselves? When? When? She said, I wanted to cut you down to the bone marrow. I wanted the white meat to show. But then the next thing you want to do is soothe it over with sex. You want to erase it all away with sex. You can't do it. You can't do it. And then when this man is saying, I'm going to leave, you say bye. She's very emotionally unstable, both of them. He's more passive aggressive, and she just flat out aggressive. And I know on this particular subject matter, we might not agree. We may not agree on my thoughts about Married at First Sight, but I absolutely welcome your comments. I also welcome your critiques. I also welcome you giving me information to help me think another way. Because this right here hit a couple of nerves with a couple of people. And it's okay if our nerves are a little rattled, because you know what? That's what happens in a family. We all have our different opinions. And here in the comment section, whether it be live or in the comment section, once this is, this video is completed, you get the opportunity to voice your opinion and to tell me what you think about this. It's interesting even to hear of your experiences, what you've experienced and what you bring to the table, what's in your database. But all I can say is a toxic relationship is what they're in. And it needs to stop. Whether they need to break up, to get the fuck away from each other. And I mean far, far away. Because he has a way of tearing her down. When her dad gave her the job, and he wanted, he got mad about her talking about, the divorce, and he said, you like nepotism. You like that. You're comfortable with that. That was his way of dragging her ass. That was his way of being vindictive and passive aggressive. That was his way. So they both play and fight dirty. So we're going to see what happens next. We're going to see what happens next with this couple. But I really do believe that this relationship needs to end. And I think that if the experts are wise and stop it with this fluffy stuff and saying everything is going to last and kumbaya and you all just need to stay together under the same roof and you need to talk about it. Man, bullshit. As an expert, I will be telling them it's time for y'all to go y'all separate ways. Fuck what you heard. It's time for a divorce. It's just time to move on. It's time to move on because y'all not good for one another. Thank you all so much for allowing your auntie to speak candidly. And then you know what? Speaking candidly and y'all not mad at me. And we're not mad at each other. And we're not fussing in the comments. And we're not saying things to hurt one another or to say things just because we want to be right. Because I am so open to hearing what you have to say, your opposing views. But let's just be respectful because guess what? At the end of the day, ain't none of us, none of us got to be with them. But this was really a serious subject and it really needs to be discussed and we need to have more candid conversations like this. Conversations where we're talking about things that are not easy to talk about. Difficult situations, but they are true to life. Like people are struggling and going through things like this every day. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. And when you have gone through things in your life, you recognize them as abuse. And the only thing that they are not doing with one another is putting their paws on each other. You never win when you play dirty. You never win when you play dirty. And both of them are playing dirty. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. I want to say a special thank you to Amy and to Madeira who who cash app me on my personal cash app account. Thank you both so much for doing that. I thought that was so kind and so wonderful. Thank you so much to Josie and to Mary for keeping the chat alive and safe for everybody to be able to openly express their feelings about this show. Thank you all so much for just being mature women and for handling this difficult subject matter with class and with grace. Because like I said, that's what family does. Love you all so much. Y'all have a great night. I will see you all soon where we will be covering Love After Lockup, the season finale, before we start seeing these other new crazy mofos. Love you all. Bye. Mwah.